Hello everybody, my name is Pipa and this is my first ever YouTube video. So to get right into today's video, I just want to talk about something very important, and it's the concept of life not going as planned and what to do when life does not go as planned. Moving on to the important segment of this video, life in general is full of plot twists. But I've seen tons of things go like completely off the rails, and yeah, just a few things. Firstly, very importantly, accept what has happened. Don't stay in denial. The danger with living in denial is that you're watching your life as a third party, and when you're watching life occurrences to you as a third party, you're not able to actively take steps that can help, that can influence it to be better, or otherwise, you are living very passively and anything can just be happening to you. Like don't just go with the flow, okay? So a way to do that is to accept what has happened and not live in denial. Living in denial would only lengthen, your pain. Yeah. So accept what has happened and then grieve, right? Grieve the life you thought you would have as you step into accepting the one you now have. When life throws things at us, there are two ways we tend to approach it. It's either we feel horrible, feel sad, feel dejected, and just stay there wallowing self-pity and feel miserable. And then there's the other extreme of just shutting our feelings off, acting like some tough nut to crack, act like we don't care, just putting on a show like, yeah, I'm tough, whatever, bring it on. And one thing I've been learning is the concept of mindfulness, right? And mindfulness is the ability to accept what has happened and approach it in a balanced way, in the sense that you're not overly fixated on the problem, at the same time you are not denying it, right? Take as much time as you need, cry if you need to cry, but set a time frame. You don't want to waste your whole time grieving and mourning. Whatever it is you are doing, just remember the clock is ticking. So even as you're grieving, grieve with the consciousness of time. Then secondly, analyze your need. And what do I mean by this? For you to want a particular thing, right, in the concept of a flopped plan now, right, for you to have a particular plan, it was to meet a particular need, right? So whatever you think you want to be, it in maybe a career path, passion, relationship, whatever it was that made you have that plan, it was to meet a need. Everything we do as humans is to meet a need. So analyze the need that was there that made you have that plan in place, right? Then a sequel to that is to pick a new plan, right? Pick a new plan that is feasible, plausible, and actively able to meet that need. It doesn't have to look like the last one, as long as it's able to meet a need. I like the don't cry over a spilled milk analogy because it's as simple as it sounds. Say you had a jar of milk and it falls on the ground, it crashes and scatters. You have two options: sit on the floor and cry, or pick it up. Pick up the glass, because you don't even want to step on it and let it injure you, which is, I think, also a good example of how letting the past linger can also be dangerous, right? So pick up the glass. You don't want it to injure you. Get a mop, clean it up, and do what? So when one falls, you go and get on the other. What happens if you don't have the money to get on that one? You have options: reach out to someone, or you work and get the money. What am I trying to say? Okay, come up with a new plan, come up with a new way to meet that need, right? come up with it. After feeling bad for what has happened, you need to move on. Get a new jar of milk. Get a new jar of milk. One thing I've realized in life is whenever I lose something, in whatever respect or regard, it only still hurts concurrently when I am yet to find a good substitute for that. For example, I think 2 weeks ago thereabouts, I misplaced a water bottle, right? Yeah, and then whenever I want to drink water when I'm out, and I'm like, oops, I just remember that, ooh, I misplaced my bottle, because I go with it every single day. And then I don't remember that I actually had a bottle before that one, the one that was misplaced 2 weeks ago. I had, and when I got that one, I didn't even use it for up to like 2 months before it broke. That one didn't actually broke. It didn't get misplaced, it broke. But I could barely remember it, right? Because right after that one broke, I got a new one, right? And that's how things are. Like, you'd only feel the hurt of something that has been lost when you're yet to find a good substitute. Once it's a good substitute, you can just remember it, oh, as a distant memory, but it doesn't sting as when you have nothing to compensate for what was lost. And that's why I say analyze a need, because whatever makes you keep feeling hurt about that thing that has been lost, about that thing that didn't go as planned, is the fact that there's a need that needs to be met. And it's not just about the plan of going the way you wanted it to be, it's about how that need you have now remains unmet. That's the core issue. A disclaimer though, I'll just put this as a caveat. This does not apply to losing someone, because I mean that's also another way in which life can go awry when you lose a person. Grieving is also important for a person, for losing someone. And yeah, for a human, you can't just find another substitute. I think for a spouse you can do that, but it's not that easy, you know. It's not that easy. It's not the same thing for everyone. So yeah, for that, I'll say seek external help. This video, I think this is the only case I don't know, I'm not sure the perfect response to give, but in other regards, yeah, once you get a substitute, whatever it is, I promise you this applies to anything. It can be a career path, for example. You know, if you probably lost the opportunity to pursue that career path, just analyze your need. Why did I want this career path? Was it so that I could help people, so that I could express my creativity in this way, so I could do this or do that, or so that I could whatever it is, just analyze that need, then pick up a new plan that is feasible, plausible, and able to meet that need, and then work with it. And as time goes on, you see, you won't feel the hurt of the plan that flopped, you know. Who knows, it might even be a blessing in disguise. Another thing I have come to realize, which is one of my mantras now, is the plan is for the action and not the outcome. The plan is for the action and not the outcome. Here's what I mean. When you have a plan, okay, of course we have plans because we expect certain outcomes. Like if I put water on fire, I put it there because I expect it to boil and get hot. I didn't just put it there for no reason, right? So definitely you can't have a plan without an anticipated outcome. But I think sometimes it's important to detach, or maybe not completely detached, but don't get too attached to the outcome. Don't get too fixated on the outcome, right? You want to get to a point where, because yeah, the outcome might be a motivation to keep going, where you keep envisioning, oh, when I accomplish this, when I get this, how fulfilling will it be? So even when the process seems to excruciate you, just take solace in the fact that, oh, this outcome is going to pay off. But just look at it this way: if you get to enjoy the process, in whichever way you can make it enjoyable for you, you know, you feel a sense of relief even in the process, that when the outcome now happens and it is positive, it feels like a double reward, right? Because now you enjoy the process of getting there, and now the result is there. So the process is already one reward, the outcome, the second reward, double reward. And even if the outcome doesn't end up being positive, at least you got one reward. I mean, 1/2. Half they say is better than none. So that's what I mean by the plan is for the action and not the outcome. I plan so that I know and have what to do per time and per season. I have planned so that I'm not stranded as to what I have to do at a particular time. You plan to have something to act on, not because it guarantees the outcome. So sometimes flopped plans are kind of out of your control. I'm not saying it always is out of your control, but sometimes, half the time, if not most of it, it's usually out of our control. But it's essential to keep going. When you stress and worry, you're indirectly saying something. You're saying my time is useless and I can waste it. That's what you're saying, because the time you use in stressing. If there was a monetary value on your time, say a second cost $1, 60 seconds will cost what? $60. A minute will cost $60, and an hour will cost what? 60 times 60. That's 1,200. So just imagine, just do the math, and imagine you're using 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, or even 3 years, wallowing in regrets, spinning over that. It's like you're throwing your money out. You're like, yeah, it's valueless. I could just trash it, throw it away. That's what you're saying indirectly when you stress and worry. Strategize. You know, it's easier said than done, but ultimately, we as persons, we are an active, inevitable, very consequential, very significant in fixing our lives. Like, no matter how much somebody wants to help you fix your life, you have to be an active participant in that. And one key way to do that is to always learn to pick up after a fall. So I hope this video gave you hope, gave you insights into how to handle certain things differently. Ciao.